Lego Zach. Welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing the Lego Minifigures Series 12 Limited Edition Collection from the Marvel Studios franchise. So last week these came out and I went ahead and bought all 12 of the different packs and labeling them each together to figure out which ones are which of the 12 figures inside of these packages. They're blind bags and so I just felt around for the pieces to get them all, and I have all 12 here today to unbox. Starting off the list, we have Monica Rambo, and we are going to open her up and Alright, so here are all of her pieces. We get the stand. Every single one of these minifigures will be coming with one of the stands, and they also come with this little tile piece here. If you wanted them to stand up and look like they're floating or something along the lines of that, I'll put that together here and show you. I'm not going to put her on top of it because she doesn't fly. I mean, she does actually in the later episodes, but there's that piece. We'll put those off to the side when we're opening most of these. But let's put her together here. We also have our paper. We'll look at that in just a second. But we'll put her together here. She has this new hairpiece, which is really cool, very puffy. A big new hairpiece for her, I believe. And yeah, so we'll put that here. I believe we also have our helicopter. We'll look at the instructions here real quickly. And then we'll see how to put that together. Alright, here we go. Alright, she is at the bottom here. I have instructions on how to put together her little helicopter from the TV show. Does seem to be, we get extra pieces in this set, this little poly bag, but here's the final build here. It's actually pretty cool. I like it more than I thought I would. It's got a cool piece on the back here. It looks like the back rotor of the helicopter, but that is her. We'll put these all side by side at the very end too, but I'll move the extra pieces away for now, and we'll move on to the next bag. Next up, we have Bucky Barnes. In this one, we do get two of these clear pieces here. We'll throw them off to the side, but get your tile, just as I said earlier. I'll put those off to the side, and I'll put the little instruction manual because we already have one out for building the figures, but we'll put him together here. He does have two different faces. We got one of him smiling, and then one of him looking more angry. We'll put that one on for his face, and a nice hair piece. Let's get this on here. He does come with two knives. If you're feeling to try to feel your way through packs, look for the knives, just an extra piece that he'll have, which isn't the shield. But we'll give him the shield, and we'll also peel off one of these knives for him. I'll put this over here, and we'll give him a knife. If you see right here, he's got really nice arm printing for his vibranium arm. The other side does not have anything. His back does have printing on it. Same with his front, and his legs has a torso print as well. That is Bucky Barnes. We're going to move on to the next bag. I'll look at all of these again at the very end in closer detail. Next up in our packs, we have Gamora. She's got a green colored head, two different face styles on it. We'll look at that a little bit later, and hair that has printing on it, or a purple accent on it. And then she has a double-bladed sword like Thanos does in the movies. As the time of recording, her episode has not come out in the What If series, but hopefully will soon. But that is Gamora. Moving on to our next shield person, we have Sam Wilson. And we do have extensive directions in our thing here, how to build him. So we'll put him together really quickly. So he's got really nice printing all over himself too, which looks really cool. One of the better figures, I would say, in my opinion. He does not have two face prints, but he does have printing on the back of his head. So, let's see here. He does have short hair, which I haven't seen this hair yet. It's a pretty cool piece. Comes with the stand. Put those off to the side. He does have clip-ons for his giant wings you see in the TV series. And his drone, which also fits on his backpack here as well. And then you can give him Cap's shield to hold here too. And there he is. Moving on to our next pack, we have Star-Lord. Alright. So, we have his purple mid-piece and his cool torso printing there, and his pants. He only has a one-sided face here. He does come with his Star-Lord blasters like the normal Star-Lord minifigure would. So give him those here. He comes with a helmet, which looks pretty sick, and also an extra style hairpiece if you want. For now, I think I will put on his hairpiece, and then I'll put the helmet off to the side so we can look at that later. Next up, we have Peggy Carter. Now, I'll put her together here. And on the manual, there aren't actually instructions on how to put together her Tesseract, so I think it's on the manual. It just shows two studs, so I will just put two of them together here for the Tesseract. These are really cool pieces. They're sparkly. Oh my goodness, I really like this. I'll give you a close-up of those pieces there. I'll put that in one of her hands. She can hold the Tesseract from the What If series. Put on her hairpiece, which looks really cool, and giving her her shield, which looks really nice too. That is Peggy Carter. Up next, we have White Vision. So I'll put him together. Pretty simple. His cape just goes on top, like so. He has no back face printing because he doesn't have hair. But his cape goes on. I'm going to readjust the cape a little bit there. I'll put him right here. He also comes with a book, or not a book, a computer, and the computer has a keyboard here as well. So I'll get that on there. Ooh, put that on backwards. Put the keyboard on there, and the heads-up display showing the hexagon patterns from the city in WandaVision. You can close that too, just like a normal computer, but I'll set that next to him. We'll look at that later, and moving on. And up next, we have the Scarlet Witch from the same TV show. We got nice printing, and we'll put her together. Oh, forgot her cape. She's got one of those cloth capes just like Vision. They're new. She does have two head printing. We'll look at that closer later, but she does have red eyes on one side like she's using her powers, and the other side does not. Really cool hairpiece too, just made for her. And then she also has the little play feature power energy pieces that you put in her hands, and you can shoot off if you push on one side of them. This one would be a good one to use the little flying feature if you wanted to put her foot up on there, and then she could be flying or something along the lines of that if you wanted to do it like that on here. But for now, I'm just going to leave her down on her plaque. Alright. Moving on, we have Spiderman. I'll get normal Spider-Man together here and then figure out his cape, which just goes on one over the other. So the first one goes on like that, and we get a smaller one which will bend upwards. If I can get this to work here. Like this. Oh, come on. Let's get it to pop up. And I think I'm going to put on normal Spider-Man's head for now. And then we'll look at his other head too later. So push that all together. And there you go. I'll put this web in his hand for now too. It comes with a long web piece in the set. And so that would be Spider-Man, and then his face, which has two sides, put off to the side, and we'll switch out later when we look closer at him. That is Spider-Man. Next up, we're going to go through the two Loki minifigs. The first one here is Sylvie. Alright, so in this one we have, yes, indeed, Alligator Loki from the Loki TV series. We also get Sylvia, obviously, from the series as well. So I'll put her together. She does not come with a cape or anything like that. She has two different faces. We'll look at those in a little bit. She has a cool hairpiece with the broken Loki horns on top. I'm going to give her both of her magic daggers, I guess you could call them, from the show. She also comes with one of the little flying pieces as well. But we'll just set that off to the side. But that is Loki. The first Loki too, people. I mean, you got Alligator Loki, or whatever we're going to call him, and Sylvie. Next up, we have my personal favorite here, which would be TVA Loki. This is Loki here. He doesn't have anything special for like a cape or anything like that, but he's got a super big smile, which I think is really funny. He's got a TVA mug. Mine's a little weirdly printed, a little crooked, but that's totally fine. But I think that's awesome. They have the TVA mug. I'll put him on his stand. And we also have Throg here that you see for a little bit during the show as well. We also have the flying stud piece as well. That is TVA Loki. And last but not least, we have Zombie Captain America. So for the first time, as you can see, he's got a boot on. A lot of people have wanted him to have that, and we finally got a Captain America with it. But it happens to be the zombie version, which looks really, really cool. It's from the Coming Up What If series episode. We haven't seen it yet, but he just comes with his zombie Captain America shield, and that is all you get for this Captain America fig. I'm going to start by going through each of the minifigures in their TV series with the other people that they are with in each one. So I'm going to start with Monica Rambo for the first one here. We're going to look at her micro build first, which is the red helicopter you see in the TV show falling from the sword headquarters that they send through. Here is the look at that. Just a couple of simple pieces. I think it's a pretty cool small micro build for this figure. Next, we're going to move on to Monica herself. I'm going to take off her hairpiece so you can see completely around here her at first. She has some really cool arm printing and back printing she does have as well. She also has an alternate face you can see there too. And her torso does not have any printing on it. It is just black legs. And that is her whole character. Here is her hairpiece. I'll also put back on her and go around real quick one more time. But yep, not too much on her. She's a pretty basic figure in this series, but she is nonetheless pretty cool. Her micro build is also pretty cool in this figure set as well. Next up, we're going to look at Vision. And he is really cool. He's got a lot of white and gold detail around him, all around him. It just looks really, really cool. He's got some cool dual molded legs on the bottom, which look really, really nice. We're seeing really cool leg printing on the sides and arms. Just a really, really well done minifigure. Really cool head too. I'm going to take off the cape so we can see more of that back print, and also you can see that really well. Really cool gold and white accent, even a little bit of a light purple in there, a lavender. It's a really cool minifig, really cool back of the head as well, but really cool seeing that shiny gold in there mixed with the white and purple in color for it. Really cool minifigure overall. I really like him. He also comes with a small computer, which is really cool. We have some printing on the computer showing the dome that the city is surrounded in. This is a sword computer, has a small keyboard with different buttons you can also press. This does close up if you wanted somebody to hold it, say Monica, if you got her as well, because she is a sword agent. That is Vision. Next up, we have Wanda Maximoff. We have a really cool hairpiece here, which I'll put back on in a second. I'll also take off her cape first here, so you can see the back printing, and then put all that back on. She's got that really cool red aesthetic, magic kind of glow stuff, transparent pieces that you can shoot off if you press them, just off like that, just like that. You press it and from friction they'll fall off, but we'll look at her really quickly. She's got some pretty cool printing on the front of her, as you can see there. And as we turn around, she doesn't have a crazy arm print, just a little bit of a mold change color there. She's got a cool back face, which I really like, the red eyes. I don't know, let's see here, coming back around. She doesn't have any torso printing, but she does have her normal eyes as well, which are not red when you have them. I'm going to put back on her cape here and her hairpiece to see what you can't see, and I'll flip her face around to the red side. And we'll look at her here. She looks pretty cool. Got some really cool printing on her. Her hairpiece is really cool, and the cape does have a bend, but still looks pretty nice. Not too much arm printing, but overall a really good figure to have from this series. Next up, we're going to go through these two figures. We have Bucky Barnes, and we also have Sam Wilson. We're going to look at Sam Wilson first. I'm going to take off his shield so we can look at that. It's the exact same shield for both of them. It's a focus there. I like the design. It's got the little notches, which you actually see in the movies, which is very accurate to the new shield we see after the post-credit, or right towards the end of the movie Endgame, with the notches on the shield. Really cool. Nice job to detail there for Lego. Next up, we're going to look closely at Sam Wilson. He's got the giant wings, which look awesome. He's got really cool torso printing, leg prints, and he's got really nice arm printing as well. Both sides of the wings are also printed with his drone Red Wing on the back. You can see the printing even on the back of the leg still. You can pop off his drone here too and put it back on if you'd want to play with him and use that feature of him. But really cool wings. He's got some really cool feet printing on this side, same as the other side too. But all in all, a really cool figure. Nothing much on the back of his head here, just the lion on his head, which is from the TV show. If you haven't seen it, that's what his outfit looks like in the new show. I'm going to take off his wings really quick so we can see that back printing that he does have. Not super impressive. I would obviously really want these wings on the back still. They really look cool, and I think it adds a lot to his character in general. Alright, we're now going to look at Bucky here, which he's got a knife that comes with him, and he also has the exact same shield we just looked at. We'll set that to the side right now. Same with his knife, just to get a good look at him. We have really cool designing on his shirt and pants, but there's not all around like on Sam. His arms don't have printing on them, except his left arm does have printing. He's got cool back printing. His left arm has a really cool print. It's the vibranium arm. It's really cool. He got it from Wakanda a couple seasons, or not seasons, a couple movies ago. Looks really cool. He does have an angry face in this setting. He also has a different face, which he is smirking, it looks like, as well. But I had him on the angry face, but he does also have a really cool hairpiece. I believe we've seen this hairpiece before as well. Alright, moving on next, we will go into looking at the What If minifigures. Alright, we're going to start going through the What If minifigures by looking at our Spider-Man. So I'm going to take off this long rope that he has. It's supposed to be his webs, and we're gonna look at him. So first I'm just gonna go around here and see his printing on his arms really quickly, and we'll take off his cape in just a second. His cape does cover up almost all. There's the little hole piece, but that's so that the cape comes around nicely. We'll look at his back in just a second, along with his headpiece as well. So he does have leg printing and arm printing, which looks really cool, and a really cool torso print as well. I'm going to take off his head really quickly, and so we can take off all of the little pieces of cape he comes with as well. They're not the new kind of cape, it's still the old kind, but this is what Spider-Man looks like without his cape on. He still has a cool back printing, but I think his cape looks pretty sick in this one because he's supposed to be in the Doctor Strange, but Spider-Man. We also have his headpiece here, which we'll also put on him really quickly. Take off that. There we go. Put that over there. And this is what he looks like. This version, he's smiling. He also has a back face, which he is not smiling, but looking shocked, as we do see him look several times in the movies. This is what he looks like. That's what the hair looks like on the top of the head. It might be just this. I think it's the same piece as Bucky, but just differently colored. But that is his hairpiece. Looks pretty cool. I like him a lot. His cape really makes him a lot better. But he's really a cool fig in this series. Next up, we'll look at Star-Lord, who has his helmet and his just normal appearance without his helmet on. So I'm going to take off his guns really quickly so we can get a better look at him. So here we have him. He's got his purple vest on. He's got a little bit of leg printing, not too much. He does have a bit of side printing, which is really nice to see. Little boosters on his heels. And then we'll see the back printing is pretty cool too. He does not have a cape or anything like some of the other figures. No arm printing on this figure, but he does have leg printing with his little rocket boosters on the sides, and it still looks pretty cool. He has short hair, and he does not have a back face. He only has a front face where he is smiling. Let's look at his helmet on really quickly. We'll put that on him. It looks like Star-Lord's head, except it has his hair and it has a purple glow to his eyes instead. We'll look at that really quick. Not too much to see, but a really cool addition to have for him. So he can have two style options if you want to have him as either one of them. Alright, well that's what he looks like. He's a really cool figure. I like everything about him, and we get the little cool helmet with him as well. It just really finishes the design of him. Next up, we have Gamora from the What If. She has Thanos' dual blade sword, and we'll just look closely at her. She's got a lot of detailing, a lot of gold and green, obviously. No leg printing on the sides here, but really extensive arm printing with the dual mold and then printing on top, which looks really, really nice. She has cool back printing, which will take her hair off, so we can see more of that in just a second. But she also has it on the other side as well, just the same arm printing. But overall, a really cool print. Her hair has pink lines in it, pink or purple, which look really cool as an extra accent. And then we also have her green head, which is a head you don't normally see. And she's also a dual-sided head. And we also have a cool back printing, which you only saw half of it because of her hair. But she does have two different style options for her face and a really cool printed figure, in my opinion. Moving on, we are looking at Peggy Carter, one of my favorite What If minifigures that we do have. She's got her really cool shield print here, which I think looks really, really cool for Captain Britain, and that is one of the cooler shields. There's two. I like this one, and I like Captain America's, which we'll look at in a second, but hers is cool. It's very bright and happy with the red stripe. It looks just really nice, pops out. She also has the Tesseract. These two pieces are not completely translucent, which look really nice in my opinion. I have not seen these pieces yet, and I'm really glad we got to get some of them in this pack. Here she is, obviously, the actual minifigure we're looking at. She has really nice leg printing. You can see that she's got little straps on her pants. Really cool arm printing too. Not too much, but she does have a couple patches on it. She does have some back printing, which we'll look more closely at in a second. She does have some more leg printing on the other side and arm printing. and she does also have really cool logo on the front as well for Britain. She has a really cool hairpiece. I like the color. It looks really accurate to what we have in the TV shows. She does have a back face, which she has a little bit more mad, and she does have, looks like where the shield would be held if she held it on her back. All in all, really cool figure. I'm really pleased to see this one, and it looks really, really cool. Up next, the last one in the What If is Captain America, but if he was a zombie. So we have one of my favorite shield pieces I've ever seen. I don't know necessarily, it just kind of describes itself. Really cool scratch marks. Just looks like his other shields, which I'll grab one of the other ones. This one's a little bit different, but you can see scratch marks all over it. It looks really cool, beat up. It looks like a zombie Captain America shield, and that's what I really love about this cap. We have a really, really cool figure here. His helmet has lots of scratches on it, dirt marks, all sorts of things. I'll put this back on in just a second when we want to look at him. But we're going to look at his leg printing, which is so detailed, and it's really, really nicely done. His arm printing, his leg printing, two different colors on both of the legs. For the bottom, we have the maroon red and then the lighter mint green teal color for his legs and skin color. We have on this side a different colored arm, different leg printing, obviously, but this figure is really, really well done. Really, really looks like a Captain America zombie. We obviously don't have a back face. He just has a front one. We'll put his helmet back on for now. But as you can see, I'll go around one more time. You just have lots of scratch marks. Just really brings this figure together to make it look really, really cool. I think this is definitely one of the best figures in this whole set, and he really, really comes together for the zombie Captain America. And last, we have the Loki minifigures. So I'm going to start with Sylvie, and then we'll look at Alligator Loki in just a second. But first, we have her really cool green blades, which I'll take off for now, but they're just a little bit bendy, a little rubbery, not too much, but there's a lot of still plastic in them. But they're pretty rubbery and bendy like some of the other pieces we got. Sylvie is a really cool character in my opinion. Even though she only has black pants, she has really cool hair printing, which is custom to her. So we'll go around and look at all of this, but she's got some really cool arm printing there and back printing, which we can actually see all of, and her hair doesn't cover up. She's got on both sides, obviously, arm printing, and then her hair piece, which is probably the best part about her, which, if you haven't seen Loki, she breaks off one of the horns to kill somebody and stays like that for the rest of the show. But as you can see, the horn is broken off here too. It is a really cool piece. She does also have two different faces, one where she's smiling and one where she's more of smirking in a way, but I definitely think she is one of the cooler minifigures from the Loki, from the whole series we got, and one of the cool Loki minifigures we get here. We also have Alligator Loki, except he doesn't have a crown, so I don't know. Is it just alligator, I guess? I don't know. But we do have an alligator, which is supposed to represent Alligator Loki. It would have been cool to see if we could got a crown piece for him, but that's totally fine. But yeah. And finally, we're moving on to TVA Loki and Throg. So here's TVA Loki. One of my favorite details in this whole series is the TVA mug here. If we can get this to not be blurry. There we go. It says TVA on it. It's a small mug. It's one of the coolest things. I didn't know they were ever going to print on a mug, but that is one of the perfect uses of it, I believe. And next, we're just going to look at Loki, and I really, really like Loki. Even though he doesn't have a ton of printing or anything super special, he just looks really, really nice like you see him in the TV show. So he does have minimal leg printing on the front, none on the sides. On the back, you only have a little bit. It does have the variant logo, which is really cool. If you've seen the TV show, you know that he gets a lab coat that says variant on it, which he helps Mobius to try to crack the case that he's working on. He does have a little bit of leg printing, not much, really minimal, but I think overall it's still a great figure. Great hairpiece, really does fit him. We have two faces, which one where he is smirking and the other one where he is serious. There's a better look at that variant too without his hair on. But all in all, this is my favorite minifigure in this series, and I think he is just a well-rounded figure in this series by far. I think it's just such a good minifigure. Now we'll look at Throg, which he also comes with here. Throg has printing on himself to look like Thor, and he's got his hair in the back and a little Mjolnir in his hand too. He's got a cape of his own. You see him for a split second, and I think this is really funny just to include him because he's so small, but that's a really good inclusion to have in this set, just something extra. And yeah, so that's all of the figures. So that is my review of the LEGO minifigure series here. It is a really cool collector series. I would highly recommend getting these guys. They're really cool, really detailed. If I had to recommend just one or two to get, I would definitely be looking for that Captain America zombie figure, Sam Wilson, or the TVA Loki as top picks to find. But it's definitely a harder one to look through, so I would always look for the key pieces that would be easy to find if you're going to try to collect them all when you're feeling through the poly bags. But this is definitely one of the coolest ones I've personally seen. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you some other time.